Good morning, one and all. Today in the today's class, we will see the diffusion concept as well as Hall effect concept. If tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes,
Anybody?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. This is the diffusion concept. In this diffusion concept, we are going to consider some non-uniformly doped semiconductor material, whether it may be a p-type of material or n-type material. Let us assume that it has n-type semiconductor material. In n-type semiconductor material, these are the high concentration area. This is the high concentration area, and this is the low concentration area. From this high concentration area to the flow of electrons, the flow of electrons is taking place from or diffusing. The flow of electrons from high concentration area to the low concentration area is known as diffusion. Due to this due to this flow of electrons, I am going to acquire some current here. That current, I am notating that current as diffusion current. The flow of electrons are taking place due to the process of diffusion, and that current I am considering that current as diffusion current here. These non-uniformly doped semiconductor material, after diffusion, the uniform concentration of electronics will takes place. After uniform concentration of these electrons, we can measure the diffusion current in the semiconductor material. This is the simple on the simple notation. We can find out the how the charge carriers are flowing from high concentration to the low concentration region. Next one. Here, consider the current which is due to the transport of charge carriers because of non-uniform concentration of charge particles in a semiconductor. Consider a piece of semiconductor which is uniformly doped. The charge carriers are either electrons or holes of one type, depends upon the impurity concentration used. Here we are using two cases here, that is non-uniformly concentration of charge particles and uniformly doped uniformly non-uniform concentration is different. Uniformly doped means that is doped with both the charge carriers are equal in that semiconductor material. That is the point here. They have the same polarity, and hence, if for example I am considering this is the uniformly doped n type of semiconductor material, in this is the uniformly doped. This is non-uniform concentration. It is different. But the doping levels of these n-type semiconductor material is uniform. Here, that is a piece of semiconductor material which is uniformly doped. The charge carriers are either electrons or holes. If it is electrons, means it is n-type semiconductor material, or holes of one type, depends upon the impurity concentration we are used, n-type or p-type. They have same polarity. I am considering that it has an n-type semiconductor material. That means these electrons, the adjacent electrons, is possessing some force here, exerting some force is going to be exerted between one electron to the other electron. That force, I can call that force as repulsive force. Same charge carrier, this is negative, this is negative, therefore negative negative gets repelled here, are going to be repelled. For example, I am considering holes. I am treating these charge carriers as, so it means positive positive are going to be repelled. Here also positive positive are going to be repelled, and due to that repulsive force, these charge carriers will depleted, are going to be depleted to this region, to the low concentration region. They have the same polarity and hence experiences a repulsive force among them. The result is that there is a tendency of charge carriers to move gradually due to that repulsive force, those charge carriers to move gradually, that is to diffuse from region of high carrier density to low carrier density. Due to that repulsive force, these charge carriers are moving from this region to the high carrier region, high concentration region to the low concentration region. This process is called diffusion and it constitutes diffusion current. The diffusion current causes till all the charge carriers evenly distributed throughout the material. These charge carriers are evenly distributed throughout the material. Then I can calculate the what is the diffusion current. That is the point here. and the diffusion current is possible only in case of non-uniformly doped semiconductor material. While here non-uniformly doped semiconductor material is we are considering in this case, and while drift current is possible in semiconductor as well as in conductors here. Diffusion current here, diffusion current exists without external voltage applied. Diffusion current exists without external voltage applied, while drift current exists with external voltage applied. That is the basic difference between diffusion and drift. Diffusion means it is a natural process. Diffusion means it is a natural process, and I am not at all applying any sort of voltage supply for that diffusion. Whereas drift, I am applying some external. I am applying some art. It is an artificial process, and I am applying some voltage supply for that diffusion, for that in order to take that drift here. Diffusion, simply this diffusion is a natural process. I am not at all applying any sort of voltage supply for this diffusion, whereas drift is a artificial process. I am applying some external voltage supply, then I will get the drift current here. Here natural process, ultimately I will get this diffusion current here. That is the point, that is the main point here. The concentration of electrons or holes, this is the graph. From this graph, with respect to the distance, I am calculating the concentration of electrons and holes, that is given by dp by dx. If the semiconductor material is p-type semiconductor material, I can take this. The concentration keeps on decreases with respect to the distance. At this level, the concentration is high. If these charge carriers moving towards this end, then that concentration gets decreases. That concentration, this high concentration is moves on to the other level, that is other end of the semiconductor material. That concentration is also keeps on decreases. That is the point notated here. That means the electrons or holes are changes with respect to the distance here. That slope I can treat that slope as change. That change is given by dp by dx for p-type semiconductor material, or n-type semiconductor material, that is given by dn by dx. That means here this graph is decaying in nature. And if we calculate the slope, by taking 2 points upon this slope, this x1 and x2, y2 and y2 and y1, by calculating the slope, I will get negative value here. I am going to acquire negative value for this slope. That is the graph of concentration gradient. Concentration gradient means change in the concentration. Simply we can call that it as concentration gradient is equal to change in concentration. Simply here from this graph, I am inferring from this graph the rate of change of concentration or concentration gradient in p-type semiconductor material. This slope dp by dx. P is concentration of holes, x is distance. Due to the concentration gradient, holes move from high concentration area to low concentration area. The rate of change of concentration or concentration gradient in n-type semiconductor material dn by dx. N is concentration of electrons, x is distance. Small x is distance here. This is the with respect to the p-type semiconductor material. That concentration gradient, I am treating that.
అమ్మా అనుకోకుండా మైక్ ఆన్ అయింది అనుకో ఏం చేస్తా
Please. Here the rate of the concentration gradient in p-type semiconductor material is given by dp by dx, whereas the rate of here the concentration gradient in n-type semiconductor material dn by dx. For p-type kaithe dp by dx, whereas for n-type dn by dx. And this is the diagram for current diffusion current density. Visualization of electrons and hole diffuses on a macro scale, visualization on the macro scale, whereas micro scale means very small scale. For that visualization, p-type material, I am considering for p-type material, consider a non-uniformly doped p-type semiconductor shown in figure. The diffusion current density is proportional to the concentration gradient, which is responsible for diffusion current. Diffusion current density. Diffusion current density is proportional to the concentration gradient. That means diffusion current density. We know the current density term, that is J. That is J, which is proportional to the concentration gradient. What is concentration gradient in p-type semiconductor material? dP by dx. And I am notating that I am notating this term as diffusion current density term as Jp proportional to dP by dx, and that is equal to Jp is equal to, from this concentration, this term I can notate it, this term, each and every charge carrier is possessing some charge here, that is charge q, and dP is the diffusion constant. dP is the diffusion constant, and this concentration gradient is dP by dx, where in this term again I am notating this term, where dP is equal to diffusion constant for holes. Diffusion constant for holes, its units is meter square per second. Q is charge of holes. dP by dx is diffusion gradient in p type. Diffusion gradient in p type. This is the points you need to memorize here. dP Jp is proportional to dP by dx. That implies Jp is equal to, why this minus I will tell you later on. Why this minus is indicated, I will tell you later on. Just for our convenience, just eliminate this minus. Just memorize Jp is equal to Q dP by dx. That is where Q is charge, dP is diffusion constant in p-type semiconductor material, dP by dx is diffusion gradient in p-type semiconductor material. Up to till this point, you know what are the terms in this p-type semiconductor material, and how the diffusion current density can be notated. And move on to the next point. The current due to the holes is in the direction of conventional current. Let it be, this is the diffusion current direction. This is the current diffusion current direction are flowing in this direction with respect to the distance small x. Here also these are the electrons which are flowing in the same direction as in the diffusion current direction. This is the diffusion current direction with respect to the distance small x. Here this is the current density Jp, this is the current density Jn, and here the current due to the holes is in the direction of conventional current, hence it is treated as positive. I am going to treat the direction as positive, but slope of the graph is negative. Why? Because the slope is decaying in nature. If we find out the slope, I will get this slope as negative here. I am going to acquire the slope as negative, and it giving negative diffusion current density. Negative, due to that negative slope, I am going to acquire negative diffusion current density for holes. But to get positive sign, in order to make that positive sign for holes, an additional negative sign is used to compensate for negative sign. In order to compensate that negative sign of that slope, ఆ స్లోప్ కి నెగిటివ్ ఉంది కదా, ఆల్రెడీ నెగిటివ్ ఉంది ఆ స్లోప్, దట్ స్లోప్ ఈస్ నెగిటివ్. ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు కాంపన్సేట్ దట్ నెగిటివ్ వాల్యూ, I am placing one more negative sign. I am going to add negative sign with respect to this equation. I am going to add this slope is negative. This slope is negative, this charge is positive, and this constant I am going to, I am not at all consider this constant. Therefore, in order to make this slope, this slope is negative. In order to compensate this slope, this slope is negative. In order to compensate this term, I am placing negative here, negative, and this negative will become positive. Therefore, Jp is equal to minus Q dP by dx. That is the main reason why we are adding negative sign here. Here the slope is negative, slope of the graph is negative, and it is giving negative diffusion current density for holes. But to give positive sign, ultimately, in order to acquire the positive sign for holes, an additional negative sign is used to compensate for negative sign of dP by dx. That is the point here. Finally, I can acquire the diffusion current density with respect to p-type semiconductor material, this one. And similarly I am going for n-type semiconductor material. In case of n-type semiconductor material or semiconductor bar, such diffusion current is due to the electrons. The diffusion current is mainly due to the electrons here. The diffusion current due to electrons, the current due to electrons is opposite direction to conventional current direction. Current direction, the current due to electrons is in the opposite direction to conventional current direction and treated as negative here. కన్వెన్షనల్ కరెంట్ డైరెక్షన్ కి ఈ కరెంట్ డైరెక్షన్ కి ఆపోజిట్ లో ఉంటుంది అనమాట. అందుకనే ఐఎమ్ ట్రీటింగ్ దిస్ ఫ్లో ఈస్ ఇన్ దిస్ లెఫ్ట్ డైరెక్షన్, ఐఎమ్ ట్రీటింగ్ దిస్ ఫ్లో ఈస్ ఇన్ ది రైట్ డైరెక్షన్. దీస్ టూ current densities are in opposite direction. The diffusion, the current due to the electrons is in opposite direction to the conventional current direction. Conventional current direction means whole direction, and treated as, therefore I am going to treat it as negative here. Here concentration gradient dN by dx is negative and the density is proportional to concentration gradient, which is responsible for diffusion current here. Simply I can treat this, the current flow due to the electrons is in the opposite direction of conventional current direction, and treated as, simply for memorizing sake, this charge of this electrons is negative, and its flow of these electrons is in the opposite direction of conventional current flow. Therefore the concentration gradient dN by dx is also negative. That negative get cancels. There is not at all, I am not going to use any sort of negative sign. For there is no need of compensation for this n type of semiconductor material. Why? Because I am taking the flow of electrons, it is in the opposite direction of the conventional current flow direction. So I am not going to add any sort of negative sign for this n type of semiconductor material. And that is Jn is proportional to dN by dx. That is current density Jn. Jn is equal to Q is charge of electrons, dN is constant, dN by dx. dN is diffusion constant for electrons, Q is charge of electrons, dN by dx, diffusion gradient in n type. The current due to electrons is in the opposite direction of conventional current, hence it is treated as negative, that is charge. But slope of graph is negative and it is giving negative diffusion current density for electrons. There is no need of additional negative sign for compensation in dN by dx. There is no need of adding any sort of negative sign for the already negative get cancels here. Therefore no need of adding any sort of negative sign for compensation in dN by dx. That is in this term current density Jn, finally current density Jn is equal to Q dN by dx, where dN is diffusion constant for electrons, Q is charge of electrons, dN by dx is diffusion gradient in n type. This is we know the Jp term and Jn term. After acquiring this Jp term and Jn term, we will move on for finding the diffusion current density more thoroughly here. Here the charge carriers, ఇప్పుడు మనకి p టైప్ n టైప్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ ఇన్ డిఫ్యూజన్ వచ్చేసింది. ఇప్పుడు టోటల్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ కనుక్కోవాలనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎనీ electronic semiconductor material, if I am placing it is a combination of artificial process as well as natural process. అంటే ఇండైరెక్ట్ గా ఏంటి, వోల్టేజ్ సప్లై ఇస్తున్నాము, వోల్టేజ్ సప్లై ఇవ్వకుండా ఏం జరుగుతుంది, వోల్టేజ్ సప్లై ఇస్తే ఏం జరుగుతుంది. అందుకని వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ దట్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ బోత్ డ్రిఫ్ట్ ప్లస్ డిఫ్యూజన్. ఫైనల్గా ఏం చేస్తామంటే మనకు వచ్చిన ప్రీవియస్గా కనుక్కున్న కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ ఉంది కదా జే, అది డ్రిఫ్ట్లో ఉంది. ఆ డ్రిఫ్ట్లో ఉన్న టర్మ్ని ఇప్పుడు మనం కనుక్కున్న ఈ డిఫ్యూజన్లో ఉన్న టర్మ్ని రెండింటిని యాడప్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. దట్ ఈస్ ది టోటల్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ డ్యూ టు ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఇన్ ఎన్ టైప్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్ అని చెప్తాం అనమాట. తర్వాత ఏం చెప్తాం, పీ టైప్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్లో కూడా ఆ 2 టర్మ్స్ వచ్చినాయి కదా మనకి, డ్రిఫ్ట్లో డిఫ్యూజన్లో. ఆ 2 టర్మ్స్ని సమ్అప్ చేసి టోటల్ అండ్ టోటల్ డిఫ్యూజన్ అండ్ డ్రిఫ్ట్ కరెంట్స్ ఇన్ పీ టైప్ అని కూడా చెప్తాం అనమాట. అది ఇప్పుడు చేసే ప్రాసెస్ అదనమాట. ద చార్జ్ క్యారియర్స్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హోల్ ఆర్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఆల్వేస్ మూవ్ ఫ్రమ్ హై కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఏరియా టు లో కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఏరియా. హెన్స్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ diffusion is same in both the cases, but current densities have opposite direction. ఈ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఈ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ హోల్ కరెంట్ డెన్సిటీ లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ వెళ్తే electron current density right side. That is the point here notating here. Total current density due to drift applied voltage, it is the drift, I am total current density due to drift applied voltage, and diffusion is mainly because of concentration gradient. Drift current density for electrons, that is Jn. From previous knowledge, I am notating here Jn is equal to nq mu n capital E. Drift current density for holes is Jp, that is equal to pq mu p capital E. We know this from the previous concept. We just write down the we just wrote these two terms by using the drift concept here. Similarly, diffusion current density due to the electrons and holes can be given as Jn is equal to q dn by dx. Jp is equal to minus q dp by dx. Total current density due to electrons in n type, that is Jn is equal to this term nq mu n capital E plus q dn by dx. Total current density due to holes, that is in p type, that is Jp is equal to pq mu p capital E minus q dp by dx. Total current density due to electrons and holes is given by J is equal to Jn plus Jp. This is the final term we are going to obtain for the current density for both p type and n type. This is the main concept you need to analyze as well as derive this concept. This is very important topic for your internal examination as well as external examination point of view. Diffusion simply, it is the charge carriers flow from high concentration area to low concentration area. By that, I am taking non-uniformly doped semiconductor material and I will calculate the what is the slope with respect to the p type and n type. In p type semiconductor material, that slope I can treat that slope as concentration gradient or change of concentration simply, that is dp by dx. Similarly, for n type semiconductor material, that is dn by dx. That slope is obviously it is in the decaying nature, obviously it is negative. Here for p type semiconductor material, I am writing the current density term Jp proportional to dp by dx, and finally I am, for compensation sake, I am giving the notation with respect to the negative sign is applied for this term, that is Jp is equal to minus q dp by dx. Whereas for n type semiconductor material, there is no need of compensation. Therefore, I am giving the notation here Jp is equal to q dn by dx. Finally, I am adding up with respect to the drift current density plus diffusion current density with respect to the n type semiconductor material and p type semiconductor material, and finally total current density due to electrons and holes is given by J is equal to Jn plus Jp. Very important topic. Please go through once again and practice this one. And final one is Einstein relationship. In this Einstein relationship, we know the drift constant as well as drift constants as well as diffusion constant. Both the constants, it is the ratio of drift as well as diffusion. Diffusion constants, it is drift current density is proportional to mobility mu, while diffusion current density is proportional to diffusion constant capital D. Like that, this is the statement. It states that at a fixed temperature, the ratio of diffusion to the mobility is constant. That means I am considering the diffusion constant D as the diffusion constant D and drift constant mu here. Diffusion constant is capital D and the drift constant is mu. That means here, with respect to the p type semiconductor material, that ratio I am treating that ratio as dp by up, that is equal to and with respect to the n-type semiconductor material, same ratio dn by mu n, that is equal to kT. This is the relation. This relation is very important relation, that is Einstein's relation, where K is Boltzmann's constant, that is given by 8.602 into 10 power minus 5 electron volt per Kelvin. T is absolute temperature. Absolute temperature we need to consider. Normally room temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. By converting this 27 degrees centigrade into Kelvin, it will become 300 degree Kelvin. This is about Einstein relationship. And just a minute. Next concept is Hall effect. Is my screen visible, students?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Hall effect is visible.
Yes.
Okay. This Hall effect is also very important. Please concentrate. I will make it as easy concept for you. Just to concentrate cheyandamma. A specimen of semiconductor. I am considering one semiconductor material by flowing some current flow upon this semiconductor material. The charge carriers with respect to the magnetic field. Some current is applied with respect to the magnetic field. I am going to acquire some voltage here. That voltage is Hall voltage. Simply, I am telling this one very simply. Some flow of current is taking place in a semiconductor material, and in a semiconductor material, with respect to the transverse magnetic field, some force is exerted in between. Due to that electric and magnetic field, some forces get exerted. Due to that force, the charge carriers are going to depleted across for one plate side. Two plates anukundam. Two plates I am going to consider as two levels. This is one level and this is another level. Across this level, let it be, if I am considering this as a n-type semiconductor material, these electrons will drift towards this side and holes drift towards this side. Then it will create some potential difference here. That potential difference will create some Hall voltage here. Hall voltage. This is the point. By transferring the flow of current in a transverse electric and in a transverse magnetic field, and I am going to acquire some force is going to be exerted. Due to that force, the charge carriers will be drift from one side to the other side. All the negative charge carriers will drift to back portion of the semiconductor material, and all the positive charge carriers, that is holes, will drift towards the front portion of the semiconductor material.
సార్
చెప్పండి అమ్మా. వాయిస్
సార్ వాయిస్ లోగా వస్తుంది.
ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా ఉంది?
బాగా వస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే అమ్మా. ఓకే. Here this charge carriers movement, after the movement of these charge carriers, this is this is the negative charge carriers, electrons anukondi, electrons, and this at front portion, this all the positive charge carriers holes are due to that drifting, and I am going to acquire the potential difference is going to be created. That potential difference, I am treating that potential difference as VH here, VH. And more deeply we will go here. A specimen of semiconductor carrying a current I is placed in a transverse magnetic field capital B. This is the transverse magnetic field capital B. Then an electric field is induced in a direction proportional to both I and B. Consider n-type semiconductor carrying a current I and a transverse magnetic field B in the y direction. Let us assume that it is in the y direction. Then, due to the force exerted on the electrons by the electric and magnetic field, a Hall voltage VH is induced across the semiconductor material. This is the statement. Just assume that it has. This is the statement. I am considering some n-type semiconductor material. N-type semiconductor material is considered, and flow of current is exerted here. due to the flow of current exerted in the transverse magnetic field. This is in the transverse magnetic field, transverse magnetic field in a direction. Then due to the forces exerted on the electrons by the electric, by this electric as well as this magnetic field, the magnetic field, due to this electric and magnetic field, force is exerted on the electrons by the electric and magnetic fields, and all the charge carriers will move to the front part and to the back part. That voltage, and it creates some potential difference. That voltage, I am treating that voltage as Hall voltage here, induced across the semiconductor material between front and back surfaces. Thus, whether the carriers are electrons or holes, they will pushed towards the back portion. The force on the carriers is independent of the type of carriers, and it depends upon the current. Mainly it depends, this force is exerted mainly because of this current here. This force is exerted mainly because of the current. Now there is an excess of mobile carriers at the back. That means excess of mobile carriers at the back portion, at the back portion. Now there is an excess of mobile carriers at the back and an excess of opposite charge carriers due to the ionized impurity atom. That means it is giving out, those atoms are giving out some electrons, and those electrons are moving into the higher energy level, and it is giving out some vacancies get created at the low energy level, that is holes, ionized impurity atoms at the front. That means indirectly all the negative charge carriers are going to the back side, and all the positive charge carriers are going to the front portion anamata. If it is n type semiconductor material, the electrons will be excess in number at the back surface, and the surface becomes negatively charged with respect to the front surface. This gives rise to a potential difference of Hall voltage Vh between the front and back surfaces. This is with respect to the n type semiconductor material. Similarly, here this anti-polarity is given as Hall voltage is given as back portion will be negative, more negative when compared to the front portion. With respect to the p type polarity reverses here across. This Hall voltage is back portion emo positive అవుతుంది, back portion will become positive and front portion will become negative, and these positive and negative will become potential difference here. Here negative and positive will become positive, potential difference is going to be exerted. That potential difference is Hall voltage in p-type and n-type semiconductor material. To maintain a steady flow of current through the semiconductor, in order to make this as equilibrium condition, in order to maintain that steady flow of current through the semiconductor, some equilibrium state is going to be exerted. That force exerted on the electrons due to the electric and magnetic field must be balanced here. That those electrons should be in the balanced state due to the electric and magnetic field must be balance each other. That is given by the force. I am going to consider here the force due to the electric as well as magnetic fields. That is F electric plus F magnetic is equal to 0. I am going to take this term here, that is force due to the electric field, force due to the magnetic field, that is equal to 0. That force due to the electric field is given by NQE, where N is concentration of electrons, charge of electrons, E is applied electric field. Bj, where B is magnetic field, J is current density J, that is equal to 0. That implies, I am notating this term, that implies NQE is equal to minus B into J. That implies E is given by minus J into minus B into J by NQ, where J is current density, N is electron concentration, Q is charge of electron or electronic charge, B is flux density, magnetic field, flux density in the magnetic field. And this Hall coefficient is RH here. Hall coefficient is given by RH, that is equal to minus 1 by NQ, this 1 by NQ, this minus 1 by NQ is represented here minus 1 by NQ. This is for n type. If we are considering this for n type, this will become minus 1 by NQ, whereas for p type it will become 1 by NQ, like that. For negative charge, this Hall coefficient is minus 1 by NQ. For p type, 1 by NQ. Substitute the above term, this RH term, in this term, then E is equal to BJRH. Substitute the above term in equation 1. ఈ టర్మ్ని మనం ఈక్వేషన్ 1లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాం అనమాట. అప్పుడు ఏమవుద్ది, హియర్ మైనస్ ఇస్ దేర్ బై NQ. Then I can replace this term, this denominator term by RH here. That is the term given here. E is equal to BJRH. First I am considering forces here. That force is electric force plus magnetic force. I am taking this term, that is NQE plus BJ is equal to 0. Finally, I am going to acquire the term with respect to this electric potential capital E. This is the term. And substituting RH term, then the term will become BJRH. We know that electric field capital E is equal to VH by D with respect to Hall voltage and distance. Do you observe this one? In this diagram, this is the thickness and this is the distance. The distance I am given here. That capital E is equal to electric field capital E is equal to V by D. Already V by D, this relation we know this one in the previous sections from drift concept. Capital E is equal to VH by D. That is VH is Hall voltage, D is distance between front and back surface. And the current density is defined as current per unit area. This is also, we know this relation, that current density J is equal to I by A. That is equal to I by area is given as dt here. D into small t, distance into thickness, where T is thickness of the semiconductor in the direction of magnetic field. This is by acquiring this E term and J term. Next one, now substituting the values of E term and J term in equation 2. ఇప్పుడు ఈ equation 2 ఉంది కదా, equation 2లో I am substituting this E term and J term. I am going to substitute E is equal to BJRH. Again I am rewriting the same term, that is E is equal to BJRH. I am substituting this E term VH by D, that is equal to B. J term I am substituting here, that is I by dt into RH means 1 by NQ. I am writing here, that is equal to VH is equal to BI by NQT. That is equal to, that implies, or I am going to acquire this N term, that is given by N is equal to BI by VH QT. This is concentration of free electrons. To know the concentration of free electrons, finally I can acquire this term here. Equation 3 is also valid to determine the free electrons in a metal. Similarly, for p-type material, again I am taking with respect to the, this is for n-type semiconductor material. With respect to the p-type semiconductor material, P is equal to BI VH QT, same relation. P is equal to BI by VH QT, whereas this Hall effect coefficient is given by, over there that is negative, whereas here 1 by PQ. The charge carrier concentration with respect to the holes is here, with respect to the holes the concentration is given by P here, whereas over there that is N, whereas here this is P. 1 by PQ. RH is equal to 1 by PQ. The Hall coefficient of a p-type material is positive, whereas it is negative for a n-type semiconductor material. ఆ పాయింటే చెప్తున్నాడు అనమాట. ఈ RH అనే టర్మ్ p-type సెమీకండక్టర్లు అయితే పాజిటివ్ అవుతుంది, అదే n-type సెమీకండక్టర్లు అయితే నెగిటివ్ అవుతుందని చెప్తున్నారు అనమాట. అది we know that Electrical conductivity for an extrinsic semiconductor is given by sigma n is equal to nq mu n. This is electron mobility term, whereas sigma p is equal to pq mu p, that is hole mobility term. From that, thus, if the conductivity of a semiconductor is also measured along with RH, along with the conductivity of a semiconductor is also measured along with Hall resistance RH, then mobility can be determined from the relation. That is this same relation. From this same relation, I am rewriting the terms here. That is mu n is equal to sigma n by qn. That is equal to, this qn term is replaced with RH. That is mu n is equal to sigma n RH for n-type semiconductor material, and mu p is equal to sigma p by pq. That is equal to sigma p into RH. This is the for n-type semiconductor material. ఏం లేదమ్మా, ఏం లేదు, ఒక్కసారి ఫస్ట్ ఫోర్సెస్ తీసుకున్నాం, ఆ ఫోర్సెస్ టర్మ్స్ రాసాం, అండ్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు అక్వైర్ దిస్ వోల్టేజ్ టర్మ్, దట్ ఈస్ అప్లైడ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ వోల్టేజ్. ఆ టర్మ్ని ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసుకొని ఆర్హెచ్ టర్మ్ని డిఫైన్ చేసి సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తాం, ఈ టర్మ్లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసిన తర్వాత we know the other voltage term, that is E is equal to VH by D. With respect to the distance కూడా కావాలి కదా, with respect to distance and Hall voltage కావాలి కాబట్టి that electric potential is notated like this. By substituting that and current density J term, by making these two terms, this electric potential capital E and this current density capital J term, by substituting those two terms, and I will substitute those two terms in the actual electric field capital E term. By substituting all those terms, I can acquire the Hall voltage term. Finally, this Hall voltage term is very important. This Hall voltage term is very important. By finding out this Hall voltage term, later on I can acquire the concentration of the electrons term also. To find out that concentration electrons term, n can be identified by interchanging these terms anamata. Like that, P term, that is concentration of holes, can also be identified, that is Bi by Vh Qt. The Hall resistance terms are going to be varied with respect to the concentration of electrons and holes. This Hall resistance is positive for p type, and this Hall resistance is negative for n type. That is the points given here. Again, mobility term, we know this mobility term, we know this mobility terms, and we placed these terms here, and interchanging these terms, and I can acquire the mobility of n-type semiconductor material with respect to the Hall resistance, and this mobility of p-type semiconductor material with respect to the Hall resistance. This is about Hall effect. It is very important. Please derive this term again and see whether you are capable to do this derivation or not. And finally, Hall effect applications. It is used to determine whether the semiconductor material is p-type or n-type. It is possible by using this Hall effect, I can identify whether the semiconductor material is p-type or n-type. It is used to measure electrons or hole concentration is possible, and mobility is possible. From this relation, I can find out the electron concentration. From this relation, I can find out the hole concentration. I can find out the Hall resistance also. I can find out the conductivity also, for conductivity n-type and p-type also. I can find out the mobility terms also in n-type and p-type. That is the points given here. That is the applications. Those are the applications. We can treat those as the applications. It gives the information whether the given material is metal or insulator or semiconductor. It can be used to find out the electron or hole concentration and mobility. It can be used to measure the power in an electromagnetic wave. It can use it to measure the magnetic flux density also. We can measure this flux density capital B also. It is used in the magnetic field meters. This principle, this Hall effect principle, is used in many instruments. We can for different measurements sake, we can use this one. It is used in magnetic field meters to sense the angular position of static magnetic fields. Please go through if you have any interest regarding this Hall effect Hall effect, different types of sensors and transducers are there. You can go through this one and you can acquire the knowledge. It is also used in an instrument called Hall effect multiplier. Its output is a product of two input signals. Its output, Hall effect multiplier, it is the product of two input signals. This is about Hall effect. In the next class, we will see this Fermi-Dirac energy distribution. In previous class, we just know the what is Fermi-Dirac equation and how it can be used like that. We know the all the concept in by using a different notation, by deriving some terms. We can easily analyze how the Fermi levels are going to shift towards the conduction band and valence band. We will see in the next class. In the next class, what are the terms we will discuss in the next class. Please go through again this diffusion concept as well as this Hall effect concept. These two concepts are very important with respect to your internal point of view and external point of view. Again, please go through. Thank you.